Hello, all, and welcome. And I'm the MGTOW philosopher. And guess what? She's back. That's right. The redhead is back. Also known as Amy Horton. Yes, the... oh, I'm not going to say it. The name, it's too easy. So, Horton, Amy Horton's back. That's another word I could use to define her, but it sounds just like her last name. But I'm not going to do it because it's too obvious. Anyway, she's back, writing more crap, of course, more feminist crap, where she essentially says, it's the guy's fault. No, it really is you. It's not me. Actually, in this case, though, what she should be saying, it is me, not you, because it really is you, honey. And she writes a lot of very obvious crap where she does nothing more than pander to women and tell them what they want to hear. Of course, what they don't want to hear, it's them, which it really is them. But no, it's him. And in this article, she writes a title, I'm trying to be optimistic about dating, but guys are making it tough. Oh, guys are making it tough. It couldn't be that you're the one making it tough, not them, that you're not adapting to the new reality for dating, your new reality, because you're 43. It couldn't be that you're in denial and you want to keep acting like you're still 23, and men should just, they should just bow down and accept your view of reality, that you really are still 23 and you're still hot like you were at 23, and they should still act the way they did at 23 because all women are beautiful. They have that inner beauty that just shines through, and the man should see that just like he did when I was 23. However, what he really saw when you were 23 was a fetch had a tight ass and nice perky tits that didn't even need to be held up by a super strong Wonder Bra, okay? And if that Wonder Bra wasn't there, they'd be down to your friggin' knees. That's what the guy, that's the difference, okay? That is what the guy saw when you were 23. Nice tits, tight ass, no crow's feet. I mean, I guess you could have some if you were like smoking a lot and doing a lot of drugs and shit. I mean, look at that Lindsay Lohan broad. But generally speaking, when you're 23 years old, if you're a thin broad and reasonably good looking, you have no problem getting guys. And she doesn't seem to realize that she got guys when she was that young because, you were attractive and you're not now. Now you're an old, worn-out hag, okay? Okay? You're like an old pair of dress shoes. You had shoes that get nice and comfortable, and you shine them up, and they get all nice and polished, those nice leather dress shoes, and you keep them for a long time, and they get worn in. But eventually, they get those wrinkles at the bend points where you walk, and your toes bend, and they get all these wrinkles, and no matter how much you polish them, they just look old. And even though they're a very comfortable pair of shoes, it's time to get a new pair of shoes because they just don't polish up as well as they used to. And wearing them, you think when people look at you, they're kind of assuming you're a poor guy because you can't afford new shoes. If you could afford new shoes, you would have new shoes. It couldn't be that they're just comfortable shoes. So, you're like an old pair of shoes, Amy. The man wants a new pair of shoes. And of course, when you're a 43-year-old guy and you've got money, you don't want some old, crappy pair of shoes you've been wearing for 20 years, or that are 20 years old, been worn 20 years. No! You want a nice, new pair of shoes that look really great, and the woman sees those shoes, and she's like, damn, he must have a lot of money. That's what you want! Which, of course, the shoes are stand-in for a woman, of course. I'm just saying that if Amy's too stupid to get the comparison, which she probably is. So, let's see what Amy has to say, shall we, in this crappy story? I can already guess it's going to be blaming men. The entirety will be all about blaming men. So, right off the bat, I really want to open up and be receptive to dating new men. What does that mean? If you want to open up and date new men, then you just date new men. I try my best. What does that mean? Like Yoda said, there's no try. You do or you don't do. If you want to date new men, go date new men. That's it. Don't make excuses. I try my best, but I also don't want to be stupid about it. What does that mean? The more I put myself out there, the more I get burned. What does that mean? I get no details from this broad. If these articles that she's writing are some kind of catharsis to work through her issues, they're not... they're not very well written because I would think that she's writing these articles in part to work out her issues, but also in part to get good advice from women. but she doesn't give, or good advice from anybody, but she doesn't give enough information for people to comment in any informed way to help her. Why would I want to keep doing something that makes me feel so terrible? Yeah, that's a good question, Amy. Why don't you just stay single? Why don't you just not get a man at all? Oh, because you're a woman and you must have a man. You need a man. You cannot live without one. We, on the other hand, don't need you, obviously. So number one, I psych myself up to make an effort, but don't get anything back. Oh, you psych yourself up to make an effort, or you make an effort? And what do you mean you don't get anything back? What effort are you putting out to begin with? It's like they just can't be bothered. And this is so vague. It's like she puts no effort into these articles. She just thinks up these bullet points, number one, number two, number three, and writes a short paragraph without any information or details. It's like they can't be bothered, and I definitely can't be bothered to put up with that kind of baloney. Baloney? Who talks like that? Come on now, guys, seriously. I'm not going to beg for your scrap. What's she talking about? You know, this woman, what annoys me about her and her writing is that she just assumes, it seems like she assumes you, the reader, know what she's talking about. She just doesn't give any contextual details at all. She just puts out these lame one-liners. Come on now, guys. Not going to beg for scraps. Kind of baloney. If you want me, I don't want you. You're ugly. I've seen recent pictures of you, by the way. Your ass is gigantic. There's a reason why she takes headshots only, guys. At least to try a little. I'm not high maintenance. Oh. That's for sure. If you were high maintenance, honey, you would look a lot better. I just want someone who cares. Oh, my God. She must have worked a double shift at her job as a cocktail waitress to put so little effort into this. Good God. Yeah, by the way, that's the winner that she is, okay? She has such high standards. Guess what she does for a living? This woman is a 43 years old, failed actress, cocktail waitress in Los Angeles. Cocktail waitress! And on the side, she writes these crappy articles. I just want someone who cares. You want somebody who cares? Good for you! I think she's purposely not putting any arguments or any details in here so that people like me, her detractors, can't respond with more criticism. Of course, I believe me, honey, I can read between the lines. I can respond with plenty of criticism. So you say you're not high maintenance, okay? Well, let's start at the beginning. It's like they just can't be bothered. So they can't be bothered for what? To please you? I definitely can't be bothered to put up with that kind of baloney. Oh, them not trying to please you? Huh. You sure sound like high maintenance to me, honey. If I have to put that much work into you to make you happy, to expect anything back from you, and you've just said you won't give anything back because you can't be bothered with their crap. Well, geez, why should I care about you in the first place? I shouldn't. Number two, I resolved to put myself out there, but it doesn't work any better. Isn't that number one again? I don't know. She's very repetitive in her writing. I resolved to put myself out there, but it doesn't work any better than when I don't. I love it. Do you know how old you are, sweetheart? Do you know how old? Do you know what your sexual marketplace value is? I mean, honestly, you're like that crappy food that's like in the dollar stores. Anybody ever been to a dollar store recently or ever? You go into like the dollar store. And by the way, it's very misleading because everything in there is not $1. This is what I don't like. You go into the dollar store and you expect everything to be $1, and then you see like a canister of cashews for $6.99 or $7. I'm like, well, wait, why is this called a dollar store? Everything's exactly $1 amounts. It's all multiples. There's no 99 cents or everything's $1 or $2 or $3. Like, oh, wait, what? So the dollar store is not even the dollar store, but the stuff in there is relatively cheap because a lot of it is, stuff that's in the food department has passed its expiration date, but you can legally sell it if you let people know it's past its expiration date. You sold it at a discounted price. I guess there's at some point you can sell stuff that is only a certain amount beyond an expiration date. Well, Amy, you're like that old can of tuna. Yeah, like the chicken of the sea that's sitting in the dollar store, and it's like a discount price of $1.99. I don't know what these fucking dollar stores call themselves dollar stores anyway. They don't sell anything for $1. Or if they sell stuff for $1, then they got stuff that's $25. Anyway, that makes sense to me. But you're like that old discounted can of tuna. Okay, Amy? You're an old broad that probably smells like tuna down below as well. Old tuna, and you were expecting to get top rate prices, top shelf tuna prices for old, worn out tuna that's essentially 2 years beyond its expiration date. Meanwhile, you are 13 years. What I don't understand. It's just wishful thinking on women's part. Is it cognitive dissonance? Is it just willful ignorance? Are you willfully ignorant? You don't understand how sexual marketplace value works. You don't understand when you expire. Oh, no, we never expire because you men should. See, there's that word should again. Men should see them for this. Men should see them for that. Meanwhile, all a woman cares about is how much money a man makes. I say to her, women are always telling men to lower their standards. Lower your standards. Accept me. Love me. Even though I'm 43 years old, I'm an old banged out hag. But, oh no. When you ask them to lower their standards, no, I'll never lower my standards. I don't have to lower my standards because I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm the whole package. I should not have to lower my standards ever. Well, honey, that's the problem. You don't want to lower your standards. You expect us to lower ours. And we will never lower our standards, just like you will never lower yours. We will not be attracted to fat, old ladies who dye their hair red when they're really a brunette, by the way. And really, the reason you have to dye your hair is because you have gray hair. Nobody's interested in you because you're expired, honey. You're that old smelly tuna that's been sitting on the shelf a week past expiration date, and you're going through the supermarket smelling the old tuna, and it's like, holy shit, how can this still be on the shelf? This is disgusting. This is going to kill somebody. Well, number 3. Oh, my God. Wait, I got to finish number 2 first. So I resolved to put myself out there, but it doesn't work any better than when I don't, because you're old. If I don't try to date, I feel a bit bummed. She's pathetic. This woman, she needs some self-actualization. You need to watch my video, Blue Pill Empty Man Syndrome, because you really are, honey, you're suffering from a lack of self-actualization. But when I do, I just feel actively rejected. Gee, I wonder why at 43. What's the point? I'm a great girl. Well, it says you. Everybody tells themselves they're great. They have to get through the day. But are you really great? Are you really great objectively? How many people are telling you you're really great? Honey, if you want people to think you're really, you want to tell us that people think you're really great. No, you think you're great. Notice she's not saying people think I'm great. She thinks she's great. She identifies herself as a great girl. Who gives a shit how you self-identify? It matters how I identify you. Oh, but other people's opinions aren't important. Well, if 100 people identify you as a cunt, I think you need to do some work on you. And you have a lot to offer. What? What do you have to offer? A loose cooch? I mean, honey, you're 43 years old, and we've read and seen your videos. I mean, if you look at this woman's videos, they're all about sex and eating cum. And, I mean, this broad has ridden so many cocks. That vagina must look like, I don't know, perhaps a giant, ominous cavern, perhaps? That if you yodel, you'll hear echoes. Yodel, yodel, yodel. I mean, Jesus Christ, honey. Yeah, but you're great and you have a lot to offer. Well, not really to a man. Because men are not like you. We don't look for what you look for. You see, this woman's problem is she never learned what men want in a woman. She only knows what she thinks men should want in a woman, and she's been spending her whole life as a feminist trying to socially engineer men into being something that should want someone like her. But we don't. But these men just think there's always something better around the corner. It's amazing. Everything she writes, she gives the answers. She always gives the answers, but in the form of a negative. Oh, but there's not anything better around the corner. Yes, there is. There's a 23-year-old broad. Number 3, I never get hit on, ever. You mean now, right, Amy? You used to get hit on. You made that very clear in your writing and in your videos. You used to get hit on when you were younger, and the makeup, that pancake makeup that you wear, could still cover up the crow's feet and all the wrinkles that you have. And you could wear loose-fitting clothes to hide some of that cellulite. And, of course, when you were younger, you had no cellulite. It was so easy to keep the weight off, and now, it's too difficult. I'm just going to let my ass get fat with cottage cheese. I'm going to have a gigantic rear end. And I'm going to complain that men don't want me now. They don't know why. They're just so shallow. Yes, maybe it's a symptom of our culture. Guys don't want to seem creepy. No. They just don't want to talk to you because you're 43. You look 43. No amount of makeup is going to hide it. And you're fat. Your ass is gigantic. You need to see pictures of this chick on Twitter. Her ass is huge. But there are ways to show interest that are sweet and respectful. What do you mean respectful? What does that mean? What does that mean? Respect? I don't even know what that means. Sweet. Oh, she doesn't tell us, of course. I mean, if she's trying to advertise for a man and trying to put these ideas out there so that men will approach her, she's doing a shitty job because she's not giving us any specifics. I don't know what you consider sweet and respectful, honey. And by the way, why do I respect you? Respect is earned. But I have a vagina. You should respect me because I have a smelly hole between my legs. And I'm old expired tuna, but you should respect me. Yeah, I don't think so, honey. You need to earn my respect. A few blowjobs, a few bangs in the ass, a little anal sex. You go in the extra mile. Yeah, maybe I'll respect you. Otherwise, not so much. I would never be mean to a man who treated me like a human instead of a sexual object. You mean the way you treat men as human wallets? Oh, but that's okay. It's okay for you to objectify men, but we can't objectify you. I love that double standard that feminists have. You just answered your own question, honey. You need to understand that you are a sexual object to us. We don't even give a shit what you have to say until we've banged you. Once we banged you, we still don't really care, but we'll pretend like we care. But, might pretend to care just to get banged by you, but we really don't give a shit. We might give a shit a little after we bang you. And it's easier for us to pretend once we bang you because now we know we're going to get regular sex for it. But, honey, we don't give a shit. Sexual object, human. What does that mean? What does that mean? I think this is very subjective. You see, she's not giving any real universal standards. She's just giving very plain, general stuff that's extremely subjective based on her own ideas of what human and sexual object mean. Of course, sexual object is a pretty easy one to figure out, but I don't know what the hell she means when she says human. How do you want to be treated? Aren't humans sexual objects? I mean, you are human, but you're also a sexual object. Oh, but I don't want to be treated as just that. Well, honey, what else have you got going for you? You're obnoxious, you're rude, and you're a feminist. You hate men. You have nothing else going for you. You work as a cocktail waitress, for God's sake. And what kind of high standards do you think you should have? I wouldn't mind getting hit on as long as it wasn't gross. She has all these standards. Bitch, at 43, you should be happy to get hit on by anyone. You should be happy to get hit on by that old grandpa who's like 80 years old and everybody thinks is creepy. And he's always trying to pat all the waitresses' asses. Okay? You should be happy if that old fucker hits on you, all right? You shouldn't be picky. Oh, but of course she's picky. She's your typical feminist, 40-plus-year-old broad with unrealistic expectations. Oh, you shouldn't be gross to me. I want to get hit on, but not in a gross way. What do you consider gross, honey? Oh, if a cat call, a whistle? Oh, yeah, that's horrible. So horrible. Yeah, right. Of course, the only people that have a problem with that are ugly broads, okay? Or feminists, which usually go hand in hand. Number 4. Sometimes I seriously feel invisible. Yeah, well, you're 43, honey. What do you expect? I've got months at a time minding my own business and tending my personal life. While I always flourish Oh, my God. She's a waitress. What do you mean flourish professionally? You are a waitress, babe. What are you talking about? You're writing? How good is that if you have to work as a waitress? I don't get it. This woman is living in fantasy land, flourish professionally. Does she forget that she's told people what she does for a living? People know that you're a cocktail waitress. It doesn't take that much investigating to find out that you are a loser. You're a loser. I've seen the inside of your apartment. You have some fucking curtain hanging in there, a privacy curtain. She probably has roommates. She lives in a little tiny shoebox. There's a privacy curtain in her apartment like you see in a hospital. Yeah, you're flourishing professionally, all right, honey. And physically in those stretches. I also feel practically asexual. It's a good thing you do. I forget that I'm a sensual being with a body that needs to be used. It's bizarre. This is so hilarious. She just contradicted herself. First, she says she doesn't want to be seen or looked at as a sexual object. And then she says she has a body that she wants to be used like it's an object. Don't get it. So on one hand, she says she doesn't want to be looked at as a sexual object. And in the very next point, number 4, 3 to 4, she's like, I just want to be banged in the ass like I was just a whore, a sexual object. I just want to be treated like I'm just nothing. I want to be used and tossed aside like an old Kleenex. Sounds like objectification to me. Anyway, let's move on from this woman's glaring contradictions to number 5. I'm a cool, decent-looking chick, but that's not getting me anywhere. Yeah, geez, it's funny that being cool doesn't really help, because if you're not decent looking, we're not going to approach you. And while she might think she's decent looking, we don't care. Yeah, women automatically tack on 2 to 3 market value points. Automatically. All women do this, especially the ugly ones. Now, hot-looking chicks don't have to do this, because 10s would be identifying themselves as 12s, and the scale only goes to 10. But mediocre-looking broads, or broads whose looks are suffering from old age and too much Cheetos and eating of cottage cheese and potato salad, well, they feel a need to inflate their sexual marketplace value. And, of course, she says she's a decent-looking chick. Well, that's not for you to decide. Men decide if you're decent-looking, honey, not you. You don't get to decide. I'm sure you would love to be able to decide that you're a 10, and then you would have all the guys in the world hitting on you, and you would feel so great. But unfortunately, and by the way, I thought that you're a strong, independent woman. You don't need men's validation to make you feel good about yourself. I thought feminism had cured that need in you. Oh, but apparently you can't escape the biological differences that exist between men and women that you claim are all social constructs. But that's not getting me anywhere, she says. I blame the online dating culture. Yeah, I've seen this trope before in her other writing. It's become too easy. There's too many broads out there just giving their poon away, and they're making it difficult for chicks like me who place requirements on my poon before you can get it to actually get cock. Yeah, you made it difficult. You priced yourself out of the market, you dumb bitch. You priced yourself out of the market. You're a mediocre tuna at best, and you're trying to compete against chicken of the sea that's brand new and isn't expired. Are you saying that that's a problem? Are you saying that your smelly old tuna cannot compete with brand new, pristine tuna? Are you understanding that? And they're giving that away. They're giving that pristine new tuna away that's not old and smelly and past expiration date. They're giving that away. Meanwhile, you're charging $5.99 for some shit that smells bad and is expired. What do you expect to happen? Of course you're not getting anywhere, dummy. Yeah, but you blame the online dating culture. Yeah. It couldn't be the fact that you're old, smelly tuna and you've overpriced yourself and nobody's willing to pay that much. Everything thinks that they have... she can't write. And obviously people at Bold have stopped editing her work. It should be everyone. Everyone thinks that they have endless options, so they don't even bother trying. You mean like you? You mean like you? When you were younger? She answers her own questions. She says, I have this problem and I don't know why. You just answered it. When you were young, you know, that tight pussy and that tight ass, and every man was chasing after your little tight ass. You go out and run, and everybody be catcalling, woohoo, hey, honey. And you'd be like, oh, you scummy man, you. But secretly, you would love the attention. And you thought you had endless options. But now at 43, you're looking around, and in your head, you're still 23. You're like, well, geez, I'm no different than I was then, so nothing's different. Yeah, it is. Your ass is hanging down. It's gigantic. And you have tons of wrinkles, and your tits are floppy, and you need to wear super tight sports bras to make yourself even look reasonably perky. You answered your own question, dummy. Yeah, you thought there were endless options, so you didn't bother trying. And now, well, where are the options? Oh, now you're ascribing the problems you used to have to people, other people. Oh, the man thinks he has endless options. What you don't understand, honey, is we're not you. When we get older, we accrue more assets. We do have more options. Maybe not endless, but if we have a lot of money, we do have endless options. And of course, what she's talking about is endless options, and they think they have endless options because what she's talking about is the guys that she really wants, which are the top 10, 15, 20% of guys who do have endless options, which really pisses her off. There's always someone else one swipe away. Yeah, you blame that. Blame that, honey. Funny enough, we're still all single in this. We're all? Well, you just said they have endless options. So how can they have endless options and they're still single and dissatisfied? Speak for yourself, honey. I might be single, but I'm certainly not dissatisfied. I get poon whenever I want it, if I want it. So don't talk about me. Talk about your old ass. So what does that say about these endless options? that men, the more resources that they accrue, have more options, the more resources they have, while a woman, the older she gets, has less options. So you are essentially just fighting back. You are decrying what is the only double standard that actually exists, but not really. It's essentially just a recognition of how reality really is. That is how reality is. Young women have endless options because they're young. Youth is their currency. Men's currency is their actual currency. That's just reality. You don't like reality? Too bad. You're old. You missed your window. When you had currency that we men care about, you squandered it. That's your fault. Live with it. Number 6, when open and friendly men lose interest. They're not interested in you, period. You could be whatever you want to be. They're not interested. Some broad with shitty hair. Your hair is shitty, by the way. Why don't you let it grow longer? You've got that feminist hairdo with super short cut and that ugly, horrible dye. I mean, couldn't you choose a real hair color? Couldn't you choose something that's normal? Couldn't you choose your own hair color? You choose that shitty, ugly-looking red that is so fake-looking. And your gigantic, swiveling ass. Her ass is huge, guys. It's really hideous. And she thinks that her being friendly is why men lose interest? No, they lose interest because of your gigantic fat ass. I don't know when it became so unappealing to be nice. Oh my God. It has to be that. It can't be that you're a fat pig. Oh, no. Blame it on a positive. Don't blame it on a negative, because as with most women, you don't want to acknowledge the negatives about yourself that are the real problem, so you blame men. God forbid, I'm approachable and I get along with everyone, and somehow that's not attractive. You think you get along with everyone. Yeah, you get along with everyone. Men run away from you. I wonder, you mean you get along with other women, and you probably get along with the men you work with, because of course you have to get along with them, and they have to get along with you, and it's no real difficulty to get along with you as a man if you're hideous, okay? If you're a blob, if you got a giant fat ass, and you got a saddlebag, and you're 43, it's very easy for men to get along with you, but they're not interested in you sexually. That's for goddamn sure. I guess men want some bitchy, superficial chick who they think will be crazy in bed. Again, she answers her own question. Because most chicks who are superficial are going to be superficial because they're very attractive and crazy in bed. And if they're bitchy, well, that's just a side effect of them being hot, which you're not, but you are bitchy. But everything you write, you are man-hating, you hate men, you blame them for everything. That's the definition of bitchy, honey. You're bitchy, you're superficial, but you're not hot anymore. That's the problem. Guess what, buddy? Try something else and you might be surprised. You mean you? Some bitter old hag that hates men? Yeah, I'll pass. Number 7. When I'm aloof, they still lose interest. Yeah, imagine that. Men don't like hard to get. Yeah, that's because men are not women. Okay? Get real, honey. Hard to work works for a man because women are insecure and they start to wonder, why? Why can't I get this guy's attention? I'm so hot. Why isn't he into me? And then they try to get your attention, and then it works for you. It doesn't work for women. We don't give a rat's ass. Play aloof. We'll just go on to the next broad. Okay, fine. I think sometimes I'll play hard to get. I read this bitch's mind. I haven't even read this article, by the way. I mean, this woman is literally throwing everything at her problems, plus the kitchen sink, and nothing's working. The spaghetti ain't sticking to the fucking wall, and she ain't got a clue why. Yeah, dope. This woman's clueless. Clueless. Then they don't want to make an ounce of effort to try and get me. Do you hear this, guys? Do you hear this? The delusion of this woman. They won't try to get me. So now we men have to make some kind of effort. So wait. So you're gonna play aloof and you're gonna pretend like you don't want us, and we're supposed to make some kind of effort because that works for men. So she thinks that Jesus Christ, she's so stupid. Hard to get doesn't work for a woman. It only works for men. You idiot. Oh, yeah. They don't want to chase. Oh, I bet they chased when you were younger, though. I bet they chased when you were younger. Yeah. But now, what she's trying to say is the world has changed. The world has changed. It's not me, it's the world. It's all these dating apps and these dating websites. It's not me. No, honey, it's you. It's not me. It really is you. You have changed, okay? You got fat and old. That's the only thing that changed. Ay, ay, ay. So, they don't want to chase me. They don't want it to be easy either. Yeah, they do. We really do. We want it to be easy. You're talking about women. I don't know what you're talking about. You obviously don't understand men. You're just ascribing female principles, female attitudes, females' ways of looking at things, and ascribing those to men. No, we really do want it easy. You're an idiot. We do want it easy, you dummy. Try making it easy. See how many men will bang you. You'll still get men to be able to bang you, honey, if you make it easy. Oh, but no, I won't do that. I value myself too much. Enjoy your cats. Number 8. I'm not sure what gives. I do my own thing, but I'm single as fuck. Well, that's why you're single, dummy. You do your own thing. You're not interested in anybody else's things. You're self-involved like most women. Wake up! Men always say that they want a strong independent. No, they do. Who says that? Where you get this stuff? This is feminist propaganda. Who told you that? I've never heard one man say he wants a strong, independent woman. I don't want a strong, independent woman. Get the fuck out of here. When a woman says she's strong and independent, that means she's a feminist. What are you talking about? But they don't. That's right. You just answered your own question, dummy. They're terrified of me. Well, you're right about that, but not for the reasons you think. They're terrified of what you will look like naked. And they fetishize my strength. You think you're strong. You think that your bitchiness, your obnoxiousness, your man hate, your snooty attitude, even though you work as a cocktail waitress and write this crappy shit, these crappy articles, you think they're terrified of that? This is the go-to trope for all feminists because it, on one hand, compliments them and it vilifies a man. So I'm complimenting myself by saying I'm so strong and wonderful, and I'm saying that he is terrified of that. No, you have no evidence for that because it's not true. We're not. You'll be as strong as independent as you want. Then you don't need us. And you act like you don't need us, and you treat us with contempt. That's what we don't want. The way you're acting in this article. You treat men with contempt. You have contempt for men. They fetishize my strength to some weird sexual turn. Oh, yeah, that's it, honey. Not because you're a cunt. I don't like either option. Yeah. Well, I'm not a stupid sex toy, and I'm also a human being and who deserves to be respected and treated. Well, I can imagine this broad walking around all day. Any man looks at her, objectifies her, or looks like he's objectifying her. Fuck off, she says to him. Who you looking at, motherfucker? Or gives him a nasty look. You know that sneer that women give you if you look at a woman and say hello, and you give her kind of the, I'm objectifying you, look like you look her up and down, and then she'll give you that sneer like, who are you? I should be interested in you. Why do you think I should be interested in you? Well, that's what this broad does at 43. Can you believe this shit? And she wonders why she can't find a man. Yeah, gee, I wonder, honey. Number 9, I'm very open and receptive to dating. What? Yeah, you're very open and receptive to dating the top 20% of men who have endless amounts of money and endless options, but you're not into anybody else. And yet you still think they should be interested in you. What do you have to offer again? Big, giant cottage cheese ass and gray hair? And a loose pussy? I don't think so. The biggest problem here is that no one really cares that much. What are you talking about? It's very, very vague and general speech. Again, I've never seen so much apathy about dating as I do now. My peers are all waiting longer to get married. Like you? Oh, somebody told me she's already been married. She married some Chad dude, and he ended up divorcing her. I would explain why. If that's true, they would explain why she's so bitter. Focusing on their careers and unconcerned with finding romance. It's not a romantic world anymore. She decries it being an unromantic world as she sits here yammering about things that are totally lacking in romance. Everything she's talking about, very base, very common. Nothing romantic about the things that she wants or that she sees as important. But somehow, everybody else needs to be romantic toward her. By the way, honey, romantic love is bullshit. Doesn't exist. And by the way, honey, when you say it's not a romantic world anymore, well, why should it be? The only reason romance exists is because women have this inflated sense of their own self-worth. So men have to jump through all these hoops and do this special shit. And it's not even that the women think this shit is so wonderful. It's just the action, okay? It's you going through all that trouble that actually makes them feel so special. Not the action itself. Not that they think candles are all that great, or it's the effort that you go through. It's the sentiment they like that makes them feel more special. And they really believe that it is warranted. Of course, it's not. And in the world today that you've created with your feminism, you dummy, which liberated women, and instead of them waiting for marriage, they just give it away, and you're trying to sell it. You got other women giving away better quality merchandise, and you're trying to sell your old merchandise. I can get something better for free. Why would I pay you? Why would I go through the trouble of being romantic with you when I get some broad to just give it up to me in 5 minutes, huh? In 5 minutes. Well, I wouldn't, of course. Number 10. I even try to plan things myself, but it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, because you're a bitch. You're old and you're fat. I've tried every approach I can. When I'm passive and pleasant, men disappear on me. What's that mean, disappear? I thought you couldn't find them to get to the point where they would be with you to then disappear in the first place. I thought you weren't even with anybody. When I take the lead, they're either unresponsive or only perk up for a bit. I've never had success. Yeah, she seems clueless. How can you be this clueless, honey? I've never had success, but I'm the aggressor, so I've stopped trying to be... You've never had success being the aggressor. What do you mean by success? Putting a ring on your finger? Haven't you been married? I heard that you've been married. I mean, haven't you had lots of relationships in your life? Long-term relationships? From your channel, that seems to be the case, and what you said in other stories that you've written, what you said in other pieces, if they could be called that you've had long-term relationships. Well, you've had success. You just didn't take advantage of it, and now you want to have that same success, but as a 43-year-old broad. Good luck. Number 11. Even when I get a date, it's generally not that exciting. What do you expect? Anybody that's going to date you isn't going to be 20. He's going to be 43, 45, 50. How much excitement are you expecting at your age? How old do you think you are? If you go back 100 years, you'd be dead. You'd be dead. The lifespan 100 years ago was probably younger than you are now. What are you thinking? At 43 years old, it's not that exciting. Yeah, men go to the trouble to create excitement for hot chicks, and it's still tiresome. Me, at my age, fuck that shit, okay? Fuck it! That's why I like to pump and dump, okay? Booty call, that's it. I don't want to do anything exciting. I don't want to take you out to some goddamn amusement park and put you on the fucking Winnie the Pooh ride. Whatever the fucking ride is. It's spinning around. And yeah, you think that's so exciting. Whatever the hell it is some broad your age thinks is exciting. We don't know, by the way, because you don't tell us. But I'm really going to go through all this trouble for you? For you? I didn't even go to that trouble for chicks that are 25. Why the fuck would I do that for you? Get a clue, honey. I always think the guys that are proactive about going out are going to be the good ones. No, they're the pussies. Okay, they're the pussies and the angina wimps, okay? But that's not always the case. Sometimes a man seems great initially, and then we finally meet up, it's a train wreck. Huh. Of course, you have no responsibility for that. And again, we don't know what she means by train wreck because she didn't go into any details. Of course, because then we could scrutinize and find out that, oh, it's your fault. I do the best I can, but I can only do so much. Oh, I'm sure, yeah, you're such a martyr, you. I end up feeling disillusioned. You're disillusioned, all right, but not from that. It's the feminism that's disillusioned you, you idiot. Feminism that tells you that you don't have to be a sexual object, but you'll still get men, even though men only care about sex. Yeah, but she wants them to care about something else, so that's all that's important. And she's going to socially engineer all of society, the entire culture, to care about what she cares about. Number 12, I want an emotional connection. Well, who cares what you want? You're old. I don't care what you want. But they only want one thing. She acknowledges. Oh, well, that's all just the bad men. I just haven't found the good men anymore because they're hooking up with chicks on Tinder because that's easy. Wait, what? So even the good ones only want one thing, you idiot. I would love to feel differently, but in my experience, the men who are meeting up with me on blind dates are pretty much just looking to get laid. What are you going on blind dates for? I mean, how desperate are you? Going on blind dates? Well, of course they just want to get laid. Are you kidding me? That's all men. I love how she likes to compartmentalize, and some men are like this, and some men are like that. No, just some guys are better at pretending. And some guys, you just don't care that they want to get laid because they got a lot of money and they're good looking, and you lay them. You only complain about the losers. The losers! Oh, I see. Don't you just love how women like this essentially admit that they're looking for the top 15, 20% of guys, And that's perfectly okay. But what she cares about is the losers. Oh, the losers just want to get laid. Yeah, because only a loser would really go out on a blind date. I mean, come on. Who goes out on blind dates? Get the fuck out of here. You got to be a real loser to do that. Sorry if any of you guys have done that. I mean, but it's pretty pathetic. The worst part is that they'll do and say anything to get me there. Well, yeah. Well, if you know that, why are you complaining? See, her problem is she keeps fighting back against reality. Don't fight against it. Embrace it. It's like trying to fight waves in the ocean. You're this little fucking person. You're a little person. What do you got? A quarter of a horsepower of energy pumped through your body? Meanwhile, them fucking waves, they'll crack you into little pieces. How would you want to fight against that, you dummy? Go with the flow, stupid. Don't fight it. She's so stupid. Worst part is they'll do it and say anything to get me there, even make me believe they really like me. Yeah, those bastards. Maybe they did like you until you complained about something. Anything, because it seems to be all you can do. And by the way, honey, have you ever tried banging a guy and just banging him? You'll be amazed at the emotional connection that might form. He might actually come to care about you. Oh, no, I can't do that. That's sexual objectification of me and my body. Oh, no. That's how all men are. We're all like that, you idiot. You want an emotional connection. Bang a guy a lot. That's how he gets an emotional connection to you, you dummy. He's not a woman. He's a man. Apparently, you don't know how men work. Obviously. Number 13, I want to take things slow, but as soon as I refuse to give them what they want, it's game up. What do you mean by slow? Are you aware of the 3-date rule? Honey? That's what we consider slow. 3 dates, okay? It's been like that forever. It's been like that for as long as I've been alive anyway, more or less. Unless you go back to the fucking 60s, and even then, I mean, sexual liberation was well in swing, and women didn't wait till after 3 dates, from what I remember. And by the way, what the fuck? What do you mean by, wait? Why? Why do you want to take things slow? What's the point of taking things slow? If we're only interested in sex, we're only going to form an emotional connection to you after we've had sex with you, why would we want to wait? And by the way, why do you want to make us wait? See, this is what annoys me. This chick wants to make men now pay for her past. So sure, when she was younger, we would have gotten it that first night. We'd have been banging that ass the first night. But now, now we have to be made to pay for the bad men that she's dated before. Talk about baggage. You got too much baggage, honey. Why would any chick that wants to take it slow has lots of baggage because she's forcing you to prove that you're not the scumbag that the supposed other guys she was with were. I refuse to give it up. It's game over. I want to think well of men. Why? You seem to hate them. You hate men. Why do you want to think anything of them that's good? You clearly don't. I have good men in my life who aren't interested in you, by the way. The men I've had the bad luck, probably the bartenders at the bar she works at or something. The men I've had bad luck to date, though, have all been one and the same. Did you ever stop to think you're choosing the wrong guys? I mean, you're choosing the wrong guys. They're all one and the same. And you're continuing along the same path, choosing the same crappy guys, and you're wondering why you can't find Mr. Right. It's only been this bad recently, so I don't know what's happened. You got fat! I've seen your before and after pictures, honey. You got fat. You got too much junk in the trunk. That's what happened recently. Oh, it can't be that. Oh, no, because men love me for me. They don't love me for my body. She goes on to say, and this is so funny, all I have to do is deny a first date kiss and they're out. You're an idiot. If you like the guy, why aren't you kissing him on the first date? That's what you do if you like him. You're creating all these hoops that you require him to jump through to prove something to you because he's so much fucking baggage. You're such damaged goods that he has to meet all these pre-requirements and, I'm going to shit test him. I'm going to test him and I'm going to deny him this and that. You're playing games. That's playing games. Don't you dumb bitches know that men hate playing games? You don't do what's natural and what's actually required of culture. See, this is a societal requirement, bitch. You have to kiss that man on the first motherfucking date to let him know you're interested in him. And if you are interested in him, you give him a first night kiss. That is like fucking gospel, you dummy. Everybody knows that, you idiot. How stupid are you? You think you're going to single-handedly change society and culture with your feminism. Cut the fuck out of here, cunt. Yo, and your damaged good ass. Please. I mean, look at all these hoops she's requiring him to jump through, and all these requirements, and all these little games she plays. And she's like, oh man, I just can't find a man. It's so difficult. I don't know why. I know why. Number 14, I refuse to pretend to be someone I'm not just to get a date. Well, it sounds like you've gotten plenty of dates, and you blow the guys off for various reasons. You always find some kind of excuse. What's the point? After all, I'm not the one trying to trick someone into sleeping with me. No, you're just the one trying to trick them into some kind of a romantic relationship, long-term relationship, emotional connection that they may or may not want. That's all you're doing. You're doing a different kind of tricking, game playing, okay? You're no better than them. What you see is what you get. It's not so good. I've seen it. And if you don't like, then don't go out with me. Well, clearly that's not a problem because you are almost impossible to get a date with. I wouldn't be interested anyway. It's really that simple. I spent way too much of my life not liking myself to go back to that now. Did you ever stop to think that you didn't like yourself for a reason? Did you ever stop to think that maybe you were an objectionable person? Did you ever stop to think that maybe there was something wrong with you and that maybe you should fix yourself? And now you just tell yourself this mantra every day. I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm great, I'm wonderful. I'm in denial. I'm going to live in denial for the rest of my fucking life. I am living a life of denial. Like feminists do. Like big, fat, 300-pound land whales telling themselves they're beautiful every day until they believe it. And they have great self-esteem when they shouldn't. Well, you shouldn't have great self-esteem, honey. You should have very low self-esteem. I can tell you that right now. And finally, number 15. Thank God. I really don't like the way this one writes. Every single article, everything she writes is 10 of this, 12 of that, 15 of this, 17 reasons for this. Ay. Number 15, I really like who I am, but it would be nice if a man did as well. Well, you can't control what men like. I know you'd like to. I know you'd like to socially engineer men into these creatures that love big, fat women that have inner beauty. But, unfortunately, that's not what men like. I have lots of friends who appreciate me, so what gives? They're women, or they're men. And they're men who are actually your friends because the only women we can be friends with are ugly women that we're not interested in. If you have any male friends, they're your friends because they're not attracted to you, okay? Because you're fat, you're ugly, you're homely, you're not attractive to them, okay? I know I'm a good person. Who told you this? How do you know that? How do you know that? What? The conceit of this woman. Everything she says about herself is positive. Not one negative thing. And the way she talks, she is the best freaking person in the world. I would say that she thinks she's better than Mother Teresa, but Mother Teresa was a scumbag. So let me see if I can think of some other good woman that she clearly thinks she's as good or better than. No luck. Okay, so I can't think of anybody. So she clearly thinks a lot of herself. Too much, perhaps? Who told you you're such a good person? Who has a ton to offer? What do you mean a ton? Honey, if you had so much to offer, you wouldn't be single, okay? That's self-evident. Literally, the only reason I can think of is these men aren't biting is that they can tell I'm smart. And I'm not going to be easy to screw. Well, you got that right. You've got that right. But did you ever... Well, of course, she had no problem with this when she was younger. Or when she was younger, she would bang and screw every guy out there. But now that she's had her fun and is ready to settle down, of course, from what I understand, she's already tried to settle down, had the guy left her ass. So, but now she's ready to settle down. She's had her fun. Well, now you don't get to have fun with her. So I've decided unilaterally I'm not going to sleep with any more men until they jump through all my friggin' hoops. And the guy's like, what the fuck? I'm still alive. I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to settle down. I'm here to have fun. I don't even know what settle down means. It means stop having fun? Well, I'm not going to stop having fun. My heart is still pumping. I'm going to have fun until the day I drop fucking dead, you dumb cunt. And if you don't like that, you kiss my ass. I'm certainly not going to be with you. I'm here to have fun, baby. Let's have some fucking fun. No fun? Bye-bye. Unbelievable. I'm supposed to be with her and not have fun. What the fuck? Why am I with you then? You stupid bitch. I hate to think that way, but I have nothing to disprove it. Well, first of all, they don't give a fuck how smart you are. That's women, because your intelligence directly correlates with how much money you make. However, and of course she's an idiot, so she doesn't have any problem-solving abilities, so she wants to get a man who's going to backstop her and be there to make good decisions for her, or to essentially be someone for her to bounce ideas off of and help her improve her life. Okay? That's what the man is there for. And, of course, to provide all the money and the accessories and everything else she needs. And to create romantic environments and romantic nights out and go through all this effort for her vagina, which is all stretched out and like a big, giant, ominous cavern that you can hear your voice echo down for a full minute. Yeah, I'm really going to get with that. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to get with some young chick who has fun, doesn't have all these expectations, doesn't have all this baggage, and doesn't expect me to jump through all these goddamn hoops and just be a booty call because she knows that I'm here to have fun, okay? And she should be here to have fun, too. If you're not here to have fun, what the fuck are you doing here? Unbelievable, this chick. Unbelievable. And this is what feminism does to women, guys. It makes them irrational. It makes them irrational, unreasonable, totally deluded. They don't know how the real world works. They have this little script in their head that tells them how reality is, and they follow it to the letter. She clearly doesn't understand men at all. Meanwhile, we men get women just fine. They're not that difficult to understand, and we're smarter anyway, so they're easy to figure out for us. With our larger brains and higher IQs, well, this dumb broad thinks that men should want her because of her inner beauty, and we shouldn't want to kiss the first night. No, she wouldn't want to get laid after 3 dates. No. Even though that's how the world works. Oh, but I'm going to change the world because I'm a feminist and I think I'm a hero. I think I'm a modern day hero to women. And I'm going to prove it by being the Joan of Arc today, and I'm going to change everybody's view of how relationships work, and I'm going to make reality better. Meanwhile, you've just made it worse, and you're destroying the Western world with your stupid feminist bullshit. Hate broads like this chick. So, let me know what you guys think of this broad. Feel free to leave a comment in the comments section. Please like and subscribe. And please, donate to my Patreon, because you know that YouTube will demonetize this video as well. I am the MGTOW philosopher. I wish you guys a good day. Take care.